What a beast. G'day. It's Sunday 21st of March. I'm absolutely shattered, having DJ till like 5 o'clock the last 3 nights and only getting a few hours sleep, but I've just finished doing the rock and roll with my good friend Johnny Doom on a Sunday here at Kerrang, and this is my new steed. We've had awful weather, but the sun is out, and finally I'm able to get on the Triumph Rocket 3 Roadster. New for 2010, they have taken their ridiculous Rocket 3, the 2.3 litre torque machine beast cruiser, and they've turned it into a bit of a naked street fighter. Well, that's their kind of attempt. It's more upright, they've got new suspension, ABS fitted as standard, they've redone the engine, retuned it to provide an extra 15% more torque, which is something like 212 newtons of torque, which is twice that of an R1. Okay, in an upright bike. They've moved the pegs a little bit further back, and as you can see, it comes in 2 colours. You're either matte black or gloss black. This one is gloss, and that's it. Black, sexy, chrome. Now, I remember riding the first Rocket 3 last year. Didn't have the cameras, but the first thing I did was I was stuck in traffic for like 10 minutes, and I'd heard about all the power, and I finally managed to get out of the traffic and give it a blip, and I started laughing like a maniac for over an hour. There is nothing like the power this bike can produce. It is the most torquiest production vehicle in the world, and a 2.3 litre engine. The pistons are the same diameter as in the Dodge Viper supercar. It's just ridiculous. It's triple engine, obviously, new exhaust system as well, 3 into 2 at the back, makes it look a little bit tidier, and as you can see, styling wise, it's just beautiful. Now, the big thing about this though is that the old one could really quite handle as well, and it's a heavy beast, 370 odd kilos, but you could actually get it to go around corners, and it was quite smooth, and hopefully with the new forks and everything, this one will be even better. Anyway, my mission today is I'm going to Tamworth to test drive a Mazda RX-8 with a race driver, which will be quite cool. So the sun's out, I'm going to head up on the M6 and M42 and the A5, get to Tamworth and see what I think of this beast. I've got the old onboard camera on, so I'm going to get some good footage, but first up, as always, let's just do a quick look around the bike. We've talked about the engine, talked about the fitted ABS now. You can see the dials, it's nice and simple. You've got your analog speedo, clock, it's adjustable for trip as well. And then on this side you've got the tacho and fuel gauge, and literally, as you can see, I need to get some fuel. And to start her up, well, this is what the sound's like. So we said these are standard cans, but check this out. Yeah, they've got some new exhaust mapping there as well to produce extra torque. It sounds amazing. So without further ado, I'm going to head out in the sun and go to Tamworth. Oh, I'm so excited about this bike. Okay, here we go. Rocket 3 Roadster. I should mention as well, price-wise, this comes in at just under 11 grand. So you're looking around the same price as actually Caddy Monster was riding the other week. Also comes in the same class of things like the Beaky. Try to make this a street fighter. Try to make this a more upright bike. Let's see if it still handles already. I mean, although it feels like a beast, it does handle really smoothly. So that's nice, low down. This is all about what you do when you give it some. Oh, the laughter's back. That's good. It's definitely a rocket. One thing you have to say about this bike, in traffic at low speed, obviously, it does feel heavy. It's 370 odd kilos. You know, this is not a bike you can just chuck around nimbly, and if you're a smaller person, you know, you might struggle with it. Although it's handy having that flywheel that rights it. It's so powerful. But as soon as you get up to speed, you honestly don't notice it. I took my friend as a pillion on this the other day, and it was so easy. You really didn't believe I had someone on the back of the bike, because that torque just meant you didn't even notice it. Here we are then, Triumph Rocket 3. I'm here at Chambers Mazdas and Peugeot in Tamworth. Just been out with Alan Blenko, the British touring car driver, in the new Mazda MPS, 260 brake horsepower car, which was kind of crazy actually, having all that power through the front wheels. I've not had torque steer before for a while, well, for a front wheel car, and that was pretty wicked. But yes, talking of torque, I've just had Alan and the boys all hanging around this bike, and we talked to them about it for about an hour, because this thing is amazing. First up, loving the looks. Obviously, it's quite an old-fashioned looking bike, and because of the size of the engine and everything, you've got to take into account that it is quite big and chunky. But to me, the black really, really works, the chrome, and that screen is really good at high speeds as well, to be fair, it's got to be said. And I do like the old traditional headlights, and you know, the screen, as I say, works on the motorway up to quite high speeds. Let's talk about the bike though. Let's talk about the torque on this, because you can't talk about the world's most powerful, torquiest motorbike without mentioning just exactly what that means. Let me give you an example. This is me before Rocket 3 riding. This is me after Rocket 3 riding. Yeah, it just doesn't stop. It's relentless. There is no drop at all, up to 6,500 and the rev range in that power band. There is no flat spot. It just bang, 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 bang through every gear. I think if they put another 10 gears in this, you probably get to 1,000 miles an hour. It just feels that incredible. It just pulls. It's relentless. Even when you're at speed and you want to give it a little bit more, you just feel the torque coming through the direct drive shaft, through to the back wheel, and it feels very organic, very natural. And to be honest with you, it's one of the most fun bikes I've ever ridden. And it really is, and that's why you buy a Rocket 3. If, as you say, it's probably not that practical as a commuter or as a bike that you could use it every day easily because it's just so cool, but you know, you're not going to filter through it. It uses quite a bit of petrol, but you don't buy this bike for that reason. You buy this bike because you want the world's most powerful motorbike, and you want the world's most torquiest bike, and you want that sensation that no matter what you pull up against, no matter what you're doing, when you pull back that right hand, it just opens up a whole world of pain. It's like it doesn't accelerate, it stops the world and pulls it towards you. But yeah, I'm obviously, as you can tell, really enjoying this. I'm going to get back on the bike now, head home because it's Sunday and I need my nap. I just want to watch a bit of football because I'm shattered. But it is brilliant. I'll try and get some more footage. As I say, handling's great, brakes great, that engine, wow. And what, 10,995 I think this is RRP. It's pretty good. And by making it more upright, it's got to be said, as I say, it's definitely feels you can flick it into corners a little bit more. But this is a beast of a bike, and there's only one thing to do with beast of a bike, and that's to ride it. So I'm going to head back now. I'll catch you in a bit.
So much fun, this bike. It really is a unique riding experience. I mean, I'd probably say the Triumph, the Thunderbird, is a better bike in my eyes, and as much as riding it is incredible, but this is just, I would always want a Rocket in my garage, because otherwise every bike you ride you're just going to be thinking, just not as good as the Rocket. Great thing is, riding around like this, although it's obviously not as agile and as set up to the road as like a Street Fighter is, it still has a slight cruiser feel to it. But it definitely feels much more upright and a bit more sprightly than the old one. It's a big bike, but you know what, if you get this bike, you're not worried about the fact that it weighs 370 kilos, you're not worried about the fact that it's 10 grand, it actually really isn't that much for all this machine. All you're worried about is the fact that you have the most powerful road bike in the world. That's not bad really, is it? It's 2.3 litres, and sometimes it's all about power. Now the ride itself is incredibly comfortable. Sitting on this big old seat, even going over these dreading spaghetti junction, it does fine. Now I personally would get the can fixed straight away because the potential for noise in this thing is ridiculous. I had one before with aftermarket cans on. Unbelievable, but it still sounds good as it is. Anyway, I'm going to start now because the motorway. We're still coming to a road.
Right, so there she is. One of the craziest and most amazing bikes ever made. It's kind of like Concorde, I suppose, in as much that it's ridiculous, but it's a feat of engineering that it exists. It is beautiful, the Rocket 3. It's brought me a lot of pleasure today. When the sun is out, I can't tell you how much fun it is just to get on a bike like this and just, as I say, make the world disappear because you're just so quick and so powerful. What are the big changes then? I suppose the big thing I was talking about, I mean, compared to the Rocket 3, this new riding style, it's slightly more upright. It is the Roadster version. I loved the old one because it was a little bit chopper and it did feel crazy to be going as powerfully, as fast as you did and accelerate as quick as you did with your feet so far forward. But it's got to be said, I think as a bike, as a riding experience, it's probably better that you are a little bit more upright, you're a little bit more centrally positioned because you can actually obviously tuck it into corners a little bit better. It does handle really, really well, I'm not going to lie. If you get it wrong, and obviously you want to point it into a corner and then you can let it come around, it will flow through smoothly, but you might find it, because of the weight, if you try and put power on, because there's so much power, it might start sliding out towards the outside. But it's just an amazing thing to ride, and it really has, and I couldn't have asked for a better day today. What a brilliant way to spend a Sunday, apart from the fact I'm shattered, but being driven around in a Mazda MPS by a British touring car driver, which was fast by the way, and then cruising there and back on this. So, day one on the Rocket 3, this has made just an amazing impression. As I say, there is nothing else there out there like it. I would recommend before you die, you test ride one of these because it's unbelievable. And the fact that it's only 10,995 and not, you know, like 20 grand because it's such a unique vehicle is amazing. Anyway, I've had one day on this now. I've got to go take the Ducati back tomorrow to Ducati Coventry. I'm also getting a Harley Wide Glide dropped off to me, which could be interesting because that's their new version, which is almost like a chopper and really, really nice, and it will be an excellent comparison next to the Triumph. So ride that for a couple of days, and well, that's pretty much my week plan ahead. Then get back on this thing. So until then, my amigos, ride safe.